My hands are covered in chocolate and I honestly could not tell you. Bet you didn't think you were gonna get a little lesson with today's video. So when I saw these, I was like, I have to. And I'm going to find out one day. Mark my words. Hi, hello, and welcome to today's video. My name is Courtney. If this is the first video that you are joining for, hi, hello, and welcome. If not, welcome back. And if there is one thing to know about me, it is that while obviously I love taste testing things, so clearly I love like snacks, candy, and all of that, but I really have a big love for chocolate. Not only do I have a love for it just in general, but it is also an ingrained love. It is what I do for a living. My family owns a chocolate store, and so chocolate is basically running through my veins. I don't know why it has taken me this long to do an entirely chocolate related video. You know what, to be honest, I don't actually even know if that's true. There's a solid chance there are other chocolate specific videos on this channel. I think there might be. Either way, without further ado, I was at Trader Joe's, I think it was yesterday or the day before, and walking around I happened to notice that there are a lot of different chocolate items. And the first place I noticed was at the checkout. I was getting ready to check out and I had noticed there were a multitude of different chocolate bars and mostly bars, but there were like big bars and small bars and packs of bars. And so I checked out. I brought my stuff to my car, put it in my car, turned around and walked back inside. I grabbed a basket and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna walk up and down the aisles just in case there's other chocolate stuff down the aisles. And I'm glad I did, because there was. So I have a multitude of different chocolate items, all from Trader Joe's, and I could not be more excited. So let's get into it. Okay, I feel like starting off with a little buzz sounds like a good idea. So this is dark chocolate coffee buzz, bars confected from a blend of Colombian cocoa nibs and coffee beans, and there are 70 milligrams of caffeine per bar. Oh, and there's 4 bars. Okay, so when I was in the store and I read this, I was like, 70 milligrams of caffeine. Okay, so that's pretty low. I'm pretty sure the average cup of espresso has like 80 to 90 milligrams of caffeine. I could be wrong. I will correct myself if I am wrong. And so I was like, okay, so it doesn't have a ton for the whole bar, but I didn't realize there were 4 bars. That definitely changes things. Also, if you're unfamiliar, cocoa nibs, so there is the cocoa pod inside of the cocoa beans, and those cocoa beans crushed up are called cocoa nibs. So by themselves they're pretty bitter, but if you cover them in like other chocolate, they're good. They just add like a crunch to the chocolate. Ooh, the way this opens is beautiful. Oh, okay, and the bars are in there. Okay, I see now. They are smaller little bars. I like that though, because then you could just like throw this in your bag and take it to work as like a midday pick-me-up. That would be a nice midday pick-me-up too. A little caffeine in your chocolate. I like the concept. Let's see if it tastes good. It smells good. That is delicious. That is definitely a dark chocolate. I'm kind of surprised it doesn't say the percentage of the dark chocolate. I'm very curious as to what it would be. A dark chocolate that is 70% or higher is where you're going to find the health benefits. So people say dark chocolate is good for you. It's high in antioxidants, all this stuff. It does still need to be a certain type of dark chocolate. It has to be a 70% high cocoa content or higher. And so if a chocolate product says dark chocolate but doesn't say the percentage, that typically means that it's not high enough to maintain the health benefits. However, this tastes like a darker dark chocolate. I don't know though. The bitterness might just be coming from the coffee, but this is delicious. I would love, and I'm definitely going to put the rest of these at my desk to have like after lunch as an afternoon pick-me-up. I'll have some caffeine. I'll have some chocolate. I love it. I'm gonna go 9 out of 10. I think the only thing that would sell me harder on this is knowing what the percentage is, and if it were 70% or higher, I would love the health benefits on that end. Bet you didn't think you were gonna get a little lesson with today's video. Okay, so next up is one I am very excited for. So these are Aussie-style chocolate cream sandwich cookies coated in chocolate. I assume that by Aussie style, the goal of these is to replicate a Tim Tam, which is a very popular, very common Australian chocolate coated cookie. I would love to get to try a Tim Tam. Australia is the #1 place on my bucket list. I cannot wait for the day that I get to go to Australia. I'm so excited. So when I saw these, I was like, I have to. It's good, but it is not what I imagine a Tim Tam to taste like. This is what I imagine like the American version of a Tim Tam to taste like. So fair, doing its job, I guess. As it stands, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. It's really good. It has good flavor. It's chocolatey, it's crunchy, it's creamy, it's yummy. I just have a feeling that the actual Australian sandwich cookies that they're trying to replicate have a bit of a different flavor, but I don't know quite yet, and I'm going to find out one day. Mark my words. Okay, so this is one of the items that was in the aisle by the checkout, and they have like, I think 3 different organic chocolate bars. So this is their dark chocolate truffle bar. I don't remember what the other 2 were, but this was the one that sounded the most intriguing to me. It says it has a dark chocolate center, so let's try it. Ooh, she got the Trader Joe's stamp there on the inside. Okay, not my favorite. First off, I was really expecting there to be something like on the inside, something to ooze out, because it says dark chocolate center and it's a truffle bar, and most truffles are soft on the inside, so I was expecting there to at least be some sort of difference of texture on the inside. There is maybe a little bit. It's not the best dark chocolate I've ever had. It's not bad, but it's not my favorite. It's not my personal cup of tea. I wish it had some other sort of flavor or something to it. Alex and I both, are of the same mindset of like, when are you really actually going to buy just the chocolate bar? Like, it's not very often. Maybe on a road trip, or if you're doing s'mores, definitely. But how often are you going to buy a chocolate bar just to snack on? So I feel like if you're gonna have a chocolate bar, at least have it be like different or interesting. So I think if there was some sort of like crunchy in this, or like a raspberry flavor, like a fruit flavor or something, that would make this really good. But as it stands, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. Sorry. Okay, so I grabbed 3 things from the checkout area, and this is the 3rd. I thought this sounded interesting. They're oat chocolate bars with crispy rice and cocoa nibs. First off, I think the packaging is incredibly cute. They're super tiny, super fun, and there are 3 little bars in here. Oh yeah, and they are super cute. So they are the same size as these ones that were in the big bars. These ones just come in a little box, and there's 3 in this one as opposed to 4 in the other. But I think this is really cute packaging, so they get a point for that on its own. But let's try it. See, yeah, this has the crispy rice in it, and I think that's what the other one's gonna have been missing, but this is also milk chocolate, So I think their goal was to create something similar to like a crunch bar. Texture-wise, they did a really good job. Chocolate-wise, they did a good job. The chocolate itself tastes good, but it's the crunchies that I think throw it off, because while they have a salty element that I think really adds to it, and I really, really like if they add a little salt to a crunch bar, I now think that would be delicious. It has some sort of extra flavor that is just a little off-putting, and I'm assuming that it's coming from the crunch. I guess it doesn't necessarily have to be coming from the crunch. It could be coming from the chocolate, but there is a slight flavor that is off-putting. But it's definitely like, I would eat this most definitely over the last one. So I'm gonna give this one a 7 out of 10. I am psyched for this one. I hope it is as good as I'm imagining them to be. These are dark chocolate drizzled plantain chips sprinkled with sea salt. I love me a sweet and salty snack, crunchy, chocolatey, and it's in a resealable bag. I really hope these don't do me wrong. They passed the smell test, but they just smell like plantain so far, so. Okay, they're salty, they're sweet, they're crunchy, the texture is on point. They just could use a tiny bit more chocolate, but I think their goal with this is to go a little bit more in the healthier route, so they didn't want to do a ton of chocolate. But if you so they have, for the most part, a chocolate side and like a plain side as if they went under something that was just drizzling chocolate over them. If you put the chocolate side down on your tongue first, you get more of the chocolate flavor than if you do it the other direction, and I think that satisfies that sweet tooth. So I'm gonna give these a 9 out of 10. I really like these. My hands are covered in chocolate and I honestly could not tell you what item it was from. We are now at my favorite time of the video, which is the final item. If you don't know, my goal is typically to save the best item for last, or what I'm hoping is going to be the best item for last. I do not always do that, just for sure, trust me. Do not always do that, but that is the goal. I try to. When Alex and I film videos together, we order things with the last 2 items being what we each hope is going to be the best for last. And so today we have these Snacky clusters. They are sea salt potato chips, corn chip dippers, and mini pretzel nuggets mixed in milk chocolate. And I am psyched because they are basically potato chips, pretzel nuggets, and Fritos. And if you have never tried Fritos and chocolate together, it is so good. I mean, it's a sweet and salty. That's why this works. Chocolate potato chips are good. Chocolate pretzels are good. Chocolate Fritos are good. Put it all together. I can't imagine this isn't going to be delicious, but I'm really excited to find out what they're like all in one little cluster. Those are very interesting. I did have to have a couple to really get a good understanding of what was going on. So I definitely think that they take all 3 items and mash them up until they get pretty small, combine them all together, and then make clusters with them. But I think they are manufactured like machine clusters. I think these would have turned out a lot better if they didn't mash them into such small pieces. You kind of lose the element of it really when they become so small, because everything's small. You don't really get big bites of things. The second one I ate, I got slightly bigger pieces of pretzel, and so then I really got the flavor of pretzel. But the first one I ate, I really only tasted like the corn chip flavor because it dominated the other 2 flavors, and I don't really feel like I tasted potato chip at all. Texture wise, I feel like I had potato chip, but they're all crunchy, so I don't really actually know what it's coming from. I think these are really good. I think they could be better executed if they were larger pieces and larger clusters overall, because they are all pretty uniform in size and like, I don't know, slightly bigger than a quarter. I think they would be better if they were a little bigger. Say hello to Blizzard. He's checking out some squirrels or something. But as they stand, I'm going to give them a 7 out of 10 because they are still really good and I'm definitely going to eat and enjoy them. But I would love to see them revamp them and do them with larger pieces and add a little more texture. Okay, I need to be careful like scratching my nose like that because like I said, I'm covered in chocolate. Okay, so out of curiosity, have you tried any of these things? Would you try any of these things? I would love to know your thoughts. I would also love to know, like, what are your favorite kinds of chocolate covered things? Like, where are you at when it comes to chocolate? Dark chocolate, milk chocolate, white chocolate. It's not technically really chocolate, but we can get into that another day if you'd like. But with all that being said, I thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, if you were to give it a thumbs up, and subscribe, you simultaneously help yourself stick around for the next video, but you also help to support the channel, which I insanely appreciate. And I will see you in the next video. I thank you again the first time, one of the two, whatever. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.